Hey y'all, this is Angela. Welcome back to my channel. I am in a different place right now. I've chosen the most dark and gloomy day of like the past 2 weeks to make a video, but it's what's working for me, so I'm gonna do it, and I was in the mood to do it. I am standing in front of our cabinet in our kitchen that holds all of our like drinking glasses and coffee cups, and it's lit from the top, and then under the cabinet it's lit. And this is like the only place that I can get light on my face so you can see me and what I hold up. So yeah, I'm using my, I don't have a light ring. Well, I do have one, but I don't want to get it out. And this is actually pretty good. It happens, the lights, there's 2 lights up here. One of them has been like out forever, and for some reason it came on this past week. So I have the cabinet doors open and my phone propped up on a coffee cup because I am professional like that. So since I made a video last time, the last video I made was the day before my birthday. We were at the beach. We were at the beach, and I appreciate everyone's well wishes and happy birthday messages, and that made me feel so loved. And I've made it to 53 years old. 53. I feel so old sometimes. Like when I get up in the morning, I always have these pair of pants. Like, usually put joggers on or some sort of pants on in the morning because I'm cold. And this sweatshirt that you'll see in like every video because it's like my favorite sweatshirt. But I can't like put my pants on without holding on to something. I mean, and then like this morning I actually had to like put my leg up on a stool, and it's just bad. It's bad. My body just doesn't work the way it used to. I need to start exercising some more to make myself a little bit more flexible so I can put my pants on. That's one of my goals for this year. Okay, so we were at the beach, we came home, we watched some football on New Year's Eve. We were really wanting to watch the University of Georgia play in their playoff game. That's where my son goes to college, so we are very big Georgia fans. And we watched them play in their playoff game. Then we got through the first week of January just fine. And then my husband ended up getting sick. Yeah, he got COVID for the second time. He's vaccinated. He did not get his booster. I got my booster like the week before Christmas, and I was out for like a day. I felt awful. I felt like I took like 5 naps. I felt achy and all that kind of stuff, but that lasted a day and then was over. And so I'm vaccinated, have my booster. He did not get around. He was going to get his through work the next week, and then he got sick, which happens. He was out for a good. He had a fever and a cough were his main. And then he was achy, and those were his main symptoms. And his cough lingered and lingered. He slept upstairs in one of our bedrooms upstairs, and I stayed in my bedroom. We stayed away from each other. He had to stay home, from work, and he worked down in the basement, and I just stayed up here on the main level of our house. Thank goodness we had enough room to just spread out. So he's been getting over that. He's back at work now, so everything's fine. But he was out for, a good 10 days or so. And so today, or yesterday, was the first day he went back to work. And so it's been like, So over those 2 weeks or 10 days or whatever that he was quarantined at home, a couple other things happened. My son got a job, yay! He's graduating in May, and he, with his 2nd degree, yay! And this is the last time that we had to pay tuition We haven't had to pay that much tuition because he's been on a scholarship for the past 4 years because of his grade point average. And he's just maintained that. He majored in engineering, which is really, really hard to do. He worked having a girlfriend, being in a fraternity, and taking all those hard engineering classes, and he was able to keep his scholarship for 4 years. Well, he graduated with his engineering degree, and then he got into the MBA school, and there's no more, this year we haven't had a scholarship. We've had to pay like the full amount, which is fine and totally worth it, but we made our last payment last week. And so, but anyway, so he had to start looking for a job to happen, you know, right when he graduates from the MBA school. So he got one, yay. And so that was exciting. And then a couple days later, Georgia played in the University of Georgia, played Alabama in their national championship and won. And that was exciting. And let's see, and that's it. that's all that I've been doing. Okay, so that was 6 minutes of what's been going on. Now we're gonna get into what I'm going to be doing right this minute, or talking about cross stitch, what my plans are. We're gonna go a little bit backwards. My plans are, I have not joined, I'm not doing WhipGo, I'm not doing any of the challenges. I'm not good at that. It puts pressure on me for some reason, and I just like to do different things. I get sick of working on one thing every single day. If I want to work on it for more than one day, I will, and then when I get tired of it, I'll move on to something else. But I'm just not good at challenges. But I needed something that was going to make me, you know, maybe touch a different project for a certain amount of time, more than once a year, I guess. I actually have started a lot of new things in the first half of January, which I have so many whips that I've been working on that are just gonna sit there. And anyway, I've just changed so much in the past 2 years that I've been in this cross stitch community that my likes have changed, my interests have changed. I want to try new things, not because I don't like what I've been doing, but you just learn, and you like, that's what I love about it, is I learn different things like every single day, and I just kind of progress, and it's not a bad thing to try new things and see if you like them or not. And so I have been, and I've been enjoying like different fabrics and different kind of floss. That's the main things I'm talking about, and also different styles of cross stitch. Because I'm not a strict, you know, like I only stitch on full coverage, or I only stitch on Ada, or I only stitch on samplers. I'm not like that. I have everything. I feel like I like it all, and I'll try it all. So I have come up with, I want to say 10 to 12 whips that I want to focus on during 2022. Okay, oh, and Happy New Year, by the way. Happy New Year. Happy 2022. Hopefully, it'll be happy. So I have come up with like 10 or 12, I don't know, I might add some, might take away some, and put them on my, like that tiny decision wheel app. And so every morning since Monday, I decided to start this like mid-January. Haven't been doing it from the first of the year. I have been choosing a project to work on. And I have, let's see, okay, so Monday I worked on a long dog sampler. In my mind, or my like rule for when I choose that is I have to work on it for at least 22 minutes a day for the year 2022. Now usually, and that's like when I have to stop and rethread something or go get up and get a color or whatever, I will pause that timer. I'm talking about actual stitching for 22 minutes. Usually when I get into it, I know that I'll go longer than that. So that's just a bonus, but at least 22 minutes. That's what I've said. You can do anything for 22 minutes, Angela. So even if you don't like it, you can do it. So Monday I worked on a long dog sampler. It's not the long dog sampler that I had been working on because I decided I didn't like that one, and not that I didn't like it, but I decided I wanted to do a different one, but it's kind of similar. So I'll show that to you in a minute. Then on Tuesday, I worked on my very first sampler. I know I'm not a like sampler primitive type of person. I don't want to say that's like not what my decor is. I just don't have. I don't know what my house is. My house is like, I would say the way I decorate is like, I don't even know. It's like a mix of all these right now. Like my kitchen is more modern because we redid it, but we have traditional furniture in some areas, and some of it's like farmhouse. Maybe it's like farmhouse style. I don't know. So it doesn't matter. I don't even care. What I like. And most of these things, I want a lot of them to go up on the walls in my craft room. And I'm doing what I like. So on Tuesday, with all that said, on Tuesday I worked on my very first sampler. It was called Needles and Pens, and I'll show that to you in a minute as well. And then on Wednesday, which was yesterday, my wheel chose the long dog sampler again. So I got that back out and worked on that again. And I actually went to a crafting group that I found in my town. Well, I thought might be a cross stitch group, but it was actually quilting. So I sat in the corner and watched them quilt while I cross stitched. But I met a lot of nice women, and I think I'm gonna learn how to quilt. And they do like hand quilting. It was very interesting. Anyway, I'll talk about that later. But then, and then today, I was videotaping like the tiny decision wheel making its decision, but I just don't want to do that anymore. But today, on Thursday, it chose my Nativity figure. I actually have a finish, which I will show you in a minute as well. But so that's basically what I'm doing. I joined one challenge group, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I lied because I did join a challenge group, but it was like the one that I figured might be the easiest for me to do because it has to do with like a piece that I'm focusing on. It's my largest full coverage that I decided I was gonna make a focus for this year. And I wanted to, I think the challenge is like to stitch 22,000 stitches in 2022. And I'm doing it in 10th stitch, so I'm counting the 10th stitch as a stitch. I know you're not supposed to, but I don't care. I mean, maybe I won't, I don't know. So, but I figure even if I fail that challenge, at least I'm just failing one challenge. And then I'll still be making huge progress if I can actually get close to that. Because if I did 22,000 tent stitches, it would be 11,000 full crosses. Is that right? Okay, I can't think. Okay, so that's all. Those are my plans of what I'm planning on doing. Now I'm going to show you all the whips that I have been working on. So this is kind of like a small whip parade. There's going to be, and this is another thing. This is not set in stone because now I do need to save money this year. My husband and I were like, okay, well, you really need to stop buying stuff. Both of us. And so we are going to, I'm just like, just don't stop buying things. Stop buying pattern. I can't stop. But I'm gonna really kind of not stop, but I'm gonna try to like control myself a little bit better. And then, you know, but if I feel like, if I see something that I just really, really, really want, I'm gonna buy it. I mean, because it's like you only live once. and it makes me happy. And sometimes when I'm stressed or I'm just sad or something, a little retail therapy cheers me up. So anyway, we'll get on now to my 2022 Whip Parade. Okay, the first thing I'm going to show you is this long dog sampler, and it is what I worked on Monday and Wednesday. So, and also I've been working on it a little bit at night, which I'm going to show you and tell you why. So this is a picture of it. I don't know how to say it. It's I don't know how to say it. But that's a picture of it, and I hope that you can see it. See, that's the name of it. I don't even know how to pronounce that. And I don't know. I loved all the colors. To me, it was just really, really pretty. So what it says, because it's kind of little, the heat of the summer comes hastily on. The fruits are transparent and clear. The buds and the blossoms of April are gone, and the deep colored cherries appear. So it's kind of like a summer sampler. Maybe that's what Lacerissa means, summer, I don't know. I need to, someone tell me what that means, because I don't know. Okay, so let me show you what I've done first. Or let me tell you what I did first. I didn't have any of the, I didn't have the colors, and I hadn't picked them out, and I wanted something to work on while I was in the car, or when I was downstairs, like just watching TV with my husband at night, that I could see. Then I had to bring like a ton of supplies down, and you know, just it's on Pattern Keeper, just that, and my fabric, and like one color black. And so a lot of most of the stitches are black because, you know, everything's kind of outlined in black. So I started doing that, and then I ordered some of the colors from the Gentle Arts. Anyway, I'll show those colors to you in a minute, but let me just show you what I've done so far. That I have gone all the way across to make sure that I had enough room on my fabric. I'm just doing this on white 18 count Aida. It's what I already had in my house, and I already had the black. So I went through and I have enough room, but this piece of fabric I need to measure it because it's so long and bulky, because I was working on something else. But there is going to be some white showing in this. I hope it doesn't get dirty and grungy, but everything else is like, now the white's going to be showing a lot, like, you know, in the middle of it, so I hope it doesn't get dirty. I kind of wish I'd done it on a different color fabric or something that had color on it, but I didn't. And now I've already started. I think it's pretty though. I love the colors. And they're like kind of shading and stuff in there with the different colors. Now, I decided to just order the colors from I don't know if it had the conversion. Let me look. Did it list these Gentle Arts colors? How did I get those? Yeah, it did. On the pattern, it listed these colors, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy them all. So I bought all the colors. Well, my phone just quit because my storage is full. So I had to go back, and I realized I had not deleted a lot of older videos. Okay, so here are the colors, all the colors that I chose. There's 20 of them on the pattern. So that's what I've been working on. I worked on that for Monday and Wednesday, and I'll work on it again. I can't decide. I'm almost tempted to start it over because of the fabric. What do you think? Should I keep on? I know that's a lot of work. I really like it though. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some measurements and see if I have. I may start it over. I might. Okay, now I'm gonna go on to, oh, and by the way, this, yeah, and I got these the tracker things. I ordered that off of Etsy. Is it S Ward Designs? I got some to print out, and then my printer ran out of ink, so I only got to print out like 5 of them. Figures. I never even use the printer, hardly ever, and it runs out of ink. Okay, so let me go get the thing that I worked on Tuesday. Okay, so on Tuesday is when I worked on my sampler. Can't believe I'm saying that, so weird. Okay, and this is the one I'm working on. It is Theron Traditions. I don't know how you pronounce her last name, but it's Catherine Theron. And this one is called Needles and Pins. And it's a wedding sampler. And I read my husband what it says, like up in here, which I'm sure you've seen millions of videos about it. Well, not millions, but I said, I'm making us a wedding sampler. He's like, you are? Why? He's getting married. And I go, no, I'm gonna make it like an anniversary sampler, because in May we're celebrating our 30th anniversary, our 30th wedding anniversary, and I would love to have it done by May, but I know that I will not have it done by May. But I will try. So this is what I've done so far. And I know that I need to hold something in back of this. We'll see. Can I do this? Is that gonna show through? So I went across, hold on, let me get myself situated. I'm having a hard time. I went across, let me just tell you what happened first off. I went across the top to make sure that I had enough space. And I don't know if that's enough. That's the edge. Is that enough room to like have it framed? It's like 2 inches. And I think on that side too. Okay, so I took a picture. I'm putting this down, I'm not holding it up, but I took a picture of the pattern. I'll just show you. I took a picture of the pattern on my iPhone or with my iPad, and it was just like this part, this side of the pattern and this side of the pattern, because I put it on Good Notes, and I like whatever that's called when you do that, blow it up, zoom it in. I zoom it in and just mark off, you know, the symbols or whatever when I do them. Okay, so I started on, so I have 2 pages that are on Good Notes. And so I started on one and did it until I got to here. I want to go over, so I had to go to the other one. Y'all, when I pulled it out of the Q-snap, this part was here and this part was down here. So I was like, what? I was like, that is not even. What have I done? I started off frogging right away. Okay, but look, you know what? I forgot to tell you. You know what that says up there? My husband loved it. It says, needles and pins, when a man marries, his troubles begin, needles and pins. He thought that was awesome. So awesome. And so I'm like, well, I'm continuing it. He likes it. So, but yeah, so that's what I've done so far. Let me just get in here. My cabinet light. It's just those little berries in the middle. And I'll just continue on with those. So I've really only, so far I've used like 4 colors, and I have it in this like bag thing. We'll use like 4 colors. And this is a piece of 30 count portobello. And I actually was working on another project on the side, and I think this is like one of the little house needlework things. And I think that I'm gonna have enough room. I'm hoping I have enough room that I can still work on this too. So I'm working on 2 projects on this one. Yay! So I have found that I can work on the linen. I can do the linen and everything with proper eyewear. So I'm excited about that. And let me just back up and tell you the reason why I've got this one. Besides, I really liked what it said, is I was just on the internet looking at samplers or whatever, or I was in a group, and someone had put, sorry, I have something in my eye. Someone had put in a group their like unicorn charts. There was like 10 of them or something, and they put pictures of each one, and one of them was a sampler by Catherine Theron, but it was done, what was it called? Hidden Magnolia. It was so pretty. And I was like, oh God, I gotta get that one. Well, apparently she doesn't sell it. She only sells, I think I've only seen 2. This one and another one, I can't remember the name of it, which I might get. They were not that much money. These nice patterns, you know, it wasn't that much, but anyway, she doesn't sell very many of her patterns. She does mostly workshops, and so they're for the workshops, and so that's how you can do them, but she doesn't sell them to the public, or she stopped. I was like, well, I guess I'm never gonna find that. I'm never gonna get that one, because I mean, if it's not, I don't know. I think that's, if anyone knows information about that, let me know. It's Theron Traditions, Catherine Theron's Hidden Magnolias, something like that. Okay, all right, so that is that. And then I will go ahead and tell you what I pulled for today, but I think I'm gonna stop this video, and I'm not gonna do all of them. I might just go, like the next video I might do the other whips that are on my wheel as I choose them. Okay, so today I have chosen the Nativity figure, and I'm going to go upstairs and get that one. Also, I've already done one, which I'm gonna show you when I come back down and take all this back up, because you know, I'm in my kitchen and I have to go upstairs and get everything, and I have to piece this video together, and anyway, but I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I just had to go get my iPad because that's where the picture was of what I'm working on, and I realized I have like 7%, sorry. So I'm gonna show this to you really quickly. This is something that I saw on Made by Michelle McGraw's channel. She was doing these, I think it's these ones, but it's the Nativity Figures designed by Nancy. I'm not really sure. It has two different things. It's by Cooler Classic Charts. I downloaded it, so it's a PDF, and that must be, the one for Cooler must be done by Sandy Orton, but the original's by Nancy Rossi. I'm not really sure where they came from, but here is the picture of the Nativity Figures. And my plan is to get them made into stand-ups. Get them made into stand-ups, not making them myself. I'm sending them off and getting them made. So the first one that I did, which I'll go ahead and show you because this is like finished, this is a finish, is I did that one, the angel. I started the angel on December 16th is my mom's trip we went on. And I was with her, and I was like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna finish it like this year. Well, I finished it in 3 weeks, and here it is. Isn't she pretty? I know that you can't see that. There. All the back stitching. Look in that wing. That's a lot of, that was more back stitching than I think I've ever done. I was so proud when I finished this. This is done on oatmeal Aida. It was super stiff because here's the other one I'm doing, and it's like really stiff, but once you work it and get it in your hand, it softens up. So yeah, love it. So I finished that one, and so I wanted to start a new one, and the one that I'm doing now is and also the angel was probably one of the largest of the figures. I mean, the camel's pretty big, and well, some of them are big and some of them are small. I decided to go for a smaller one, and I'm doing this one, the sheep. And that's how far I've gotten, and this is the one I'm working on today. And I just put it in this hoop, and I'll work on it for a little while and then take it out. So that's it. It's better than nothing. I'm excited to have these made into the stand-ups. My goal was like, and I did make a goal, I was like to try to get 4 of them done a year, but I might take a vote like the next time to see which one should I do next. That'll be fun, wouldn't it? Okay, I'll be back in a sec. All right, I had one more thing that I worked on this week that I wanted to show you. This was the full coverage piece that I decided to kind of make my focus for the next 5 years. Okay, so let me just explain to you what my goal is on this one. I have another goal. It's kind of a goal. It's not like a... Anyway, so this pattern, first of all, I'll show you what it is. It is from Heaven and Earth Designs. It's called The Nativity, and it's artwork by Donna Gelsinger. And that is what it looks like. Let me try to maybe get the mock-up and see if that's a better picture. Am I gonna turn? Okay, I saw someone had done this one and framed it, and it looked beautiful, and I just thought it was awesome. So, and it was something that, you know, has meaning to me, and that I think I would enjoy working on all during the year. Not saying that I'm not gonna work on any other full coverages, but I'm excited when I saw that. I was like, oh yes, I want to do that one. So this one has 187,625 stitches. I was trying to do math in my head. Or not in my head, I was doing it on a calculator, let's be honest. I wasn't doing it in my head at all, I was doing it on a calculator. And I was like, how many stitches would I have to do a week? I just was trying to figure it out, and I think I figured out in my head that if I could do 750 stitches a week on this project if I could do it for every week, then I could be done in like 5 years. I don't know. This is what I've done so far. You can't even see that. You can't see the, it looks dark, but it's not, but it is, shoot, I wish I could, wonder if I can turn this light on and hold it up to it so you can see. Hold on a second, let me do this. Moving the bananas out of the way. I'm gonna hold a lantern up by this. Oh. Can you see the colors that are in there? Look at me, my lantern. It's a wax warmer. Dang it. Anyway, it's there. I'm gonna tilt it like that. You can kind of see it better that way. I'm in the very, very corner of this pattern. It's just sky and like the beginnings of like a palm tree or something. Okay, so I'll show you. Come on, pattern keeper. So, you know, I'm in this top section right here. I mean, like right in there, like right in there. Oh gosh, I can't wait to get out of that tree though. And it's so weird though, because you don't, okay, so with this full coverage, and I guess it's like this with all of them, most of them, I'm just stitching it, and like I don't see the picture until I hold it back like that, you know? And then I'm like, oh, okay, well that does look like, because I was stitching and I was like, none of these colors are green. I felt like I was using hardly any green colors. It was some blues and some grays and some tans and just different, but nothing to me like, I was like, this isn't green. I'm working on like a green leaf, like a branch of this tree, palm tree. It looks green in the picture, like a greenish, but I was like not seeing that on the thread, but all of them combined, like all of the little things combined makes it look green-ish. Now I know it's hard to see, but you can see because of the lighting, but it does look, when I look at it and my eye sees green. It's crazy, I tell you. So that's what's so interesting to me when I'm doing a full coverage, is I have no idea, like I'm stitching it and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just following the pattern, and then I'll hold it up, I'm like, oh, hey, and that does look like something and not just little bitty stitches randomly everywhere. So yeah, my goal is, I think yesterday I did 600. So I have like 150 more to do between now and this is tent stitch, so it goes faster. And I'm doing this on 25 count, like the easy gridded fabric. And I am doing it tent stitch, and I'm stitching it on a diagonal, but by 10 by 10 block, and cross country. If that makes any sense. So I'm staying within these blocks going down, but I'm like, I'll take this color or whatever color's next up here. I think I stopped right here, okay? So at the very beginning, what I did is like, you know, the very over here when I was at the top, I'd take the first color and then I would just stitch it everywhere in this square and then move down to this one, stitch it, and then move down to this one and stitch it, and just kept doing that until I was either done or I was at the bottom and there were no more stitches and I wasn't gonna carry it and I decided I'm not carrying it anywhere. I'm not gonna park it anywhere. I'm gonna finish the thread or I'll start a new one. And I'm over the parking and all those threads getting in my way. And I feel like I'm wasting some floss, but I don't care. I'll figure it out later. So I was enjoying doing it. It seems to work with my mind. I know everybody has different ways they do things. All right, so now I want to show you a couple of things that I got for Christmas. This is not patterns or floss or anything like this. One of them is, well, two of them are big. One of them I bought back in the summer. And these things are not organized one bit, but I wanted to show them to you. And I'm gonna put them somewhere where there's some light and you're not gonna see me. I'm not gonna hold them up because they're both heavy. So they are both have to do with organization. And yeah, and I got them I got one of them, well, I got them both for my husband. and I love them both. So I will, in this video, after that, I'll come back and say bye, but I'll just want to put those two things in right here. All right, so you've seen this before. I think I did another video on it, but when I first got it, but this is my, oops, there's some floss coming out. My DMC Collectors Chest, vintage chest. I don't know, I ordered it off DMC back in the summer. It was a little pricey, but I was like, it's my Christmas present, and it really was my Christmas present. It's very nicely made. It comes with the floss in it. It came with like 500 colors, so like a full set of the floss. So up here in the top, and I haven't done any kind of organization with this, just a little bit, and I need to do better. But it has this storage up here. Those are some floss that I pulled from the set, so I need to put back in their place. But for a project that I'm not going to do. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drawers that were sectioned off with these little slat things. And then I went through all the floss and I've put them. And what I need to do is I need to go back and I need to organize these somehow. I don't want to take them out of the skeins. I don't want to do that because I already have another organization system where I have bobbinated them. But that's not, I don't know what I'm doing. This one, I wanted to be able to just, when I get the floss, just toss it in the section that it goes in and then bobbinate it like I don't want to have to bobbinate everything, you know, but only like when I need it. And like my other system that I have, which is on the Pippin chip bobbins in the Bisley filing cabinet. I'll show that to you too in a minute. But like I'll go there first, and then if I don't have it there, then I'll go here and find it and put it there because that's in the other room. So I have all of these filled with floss. DMC. Except for that bottom drawer, doesn't have any. And I also, and the thing is I also have this chest, which is actually a jewelry chest that I have. These are fabric of the month, or not fabric, floss of the month bags. I have all that floss too that I haven't organized whatsoever. So anyway, this cabinet came with this book, this DMC like that lists all the colors. Really cool. I love it. It's come, actually, it has come in, it's so handy to have all the floss, all the colors. So handy. I love it. And then you can see it says DMC up here, which I think is really cool. Yeah, so that was an early Christmas present, but I didn't really use it until Christmas. All right, so this is the next thing that I ordered, and I actually did order this right before Christmas. I did not open it up until Christmas Day, and I was so happy with the entire thing. So let me just show you exactly what it is. All right, I ordered this from classystands.com. Elegant, practical, refined. And it is just a stand for storage and all kinds of other things. So I have this sitting next to where I stitch. So you've got this drawer that pulls out that can fit just the skeins of floss or bobbins. Okay, then you have a little cutout area for, say, let's see, let me, you know, a pen or a highlighter or whatever, you know, usually it's a highlighter on a pen for me. So you've got that. Then over here, you have two little magnets that can hold a needle. So you got your needle or needles in there, but there's little magnets that can hold that in place. That's awesome to have. Then you've got this groove down behind this holder that is the stand part. So this can hold, you know, your iPad, your tablet, your cell phone, whatever. Over here is a hole for your scissors. Isn't that awesome? Okay, then up here you have this area for storage for, you know, other notions or whatever that you might be using. And then over here, I usually put like glasses, and up here I usually put like, you know, here, just, I'll put the things that I use like a lot, like a highlighter or my glasses. Like here, you could put your pens or scissors or whatever, other floss. And then I forgot to show you, where is it? Oh, it also came with this thing that you put down in this groove, and it makes the opening a lot smaller, so you can put like your magnetic board in there, because if you take that out, it holds it up. That keeps it from sliding forward more. You can still do that, but a lot of the times, I think if it comes down like that, if your pattern is taking up the whole thing, then it might take off some of your view. So I think that's just supposed to hold it in there better. And then we'll come around here to the back where there is another drawer. This is cool. So this one comes all the way out. I mean, it doesn't have to, but it can. But it's great. So if you have floss for a project in here, then you can take it out and move it, you know, wherever. And then this part actually comes out, and you can use these slats to put more floss in. But if you don't want to, you can just store these up here. Keep that here. But this is one where you can actually put like your you know, your bobbins on, like the colors you're working on. If you don't want the whole storage, you know, this is for your whole project, but the section you're working on, you only have 5 colors, and you want to go ahead and take those colors out, then you can put them on here. That's pretty neat, isn't it? So I love this. I need a prettier table for it to go on though, because it's so pretty and well made that I feel like what I have it sitting on now is ugly. So maybe someday, but isn't that great? Again, it's from Classic, you can't even see that, but it has the little logo, classystands.com. Made in the USA. Love it. It's a great work of art. Yeah. Okay. That's it. And that's my main 2 things that I got for Christmas. All right, y'all, that's it for today. Like I said before, I will do the other whips in the next video that I do as I work on them, and then we'll just kind of go from there. So I have no theme song, I have no sign off, but I feel pressure to do one or both. So I guess what I'm just gonna say is Angela loves to stitch, and I hope that you do too. See you next time. Bye, y'all.